Hi and welcome to Drummers Review. I'm Nick and in today's video we're taking a look at a pair of Mapex Black Panther snare drums. Regular viewers to the channel may remember that back in 2020 we looked at a total of 8 different woodshelled snare drums from the Mapex Black Panther range, and today we have 2 new additions which Mapex call the Scorpion and the Goblin. The Scorpion has a 14 by 5.5 inch, 8 ply, 8.9mm mahogany shell, finished in a red sand strata wrap, which Mapex say has been added to help temper some of the drum's overtones. Alongside this, it has chrome hardware, which adds an almost classic look when coupled with the slightly understated red sand strata wrap. The Goblin has a 12 by 5.5 inch, 6 ply, 5.1mm walnut shell in a high gloss natural finish, along with black brushed hardware, which give the drum a dark and almost menacing look. It also features a mounting bracket, so the drum can be mounted via a cymbal stand or similar if preferred. Both drums feature Mapex's Soniclear 45-degree bearing edges, along with Sonic Saver hoops, airflow venting, cylinder snare strainers and 20-strand snare wires. Rounding things out, both come supplied with Remo-made heads with coated Ambassador X batters over Ambassador Clear snare sides. Price-wise, and the Scorpion has a UK retail price of £349, while the Goblin has a retail price of £329. Sound-wise and at a medium tuning, both drums gave a really good account of themselves. Both were very clean sounding, along with having great projection, although at this tuning, the Scorpion did sound slightly warmer than its smaller cousin, but would benefit from adding a touch of dampening just to control some of the overtones it produces. Tuning things down, and again the Scorpion delivered a warm, clean tone, whereas the Goblin did struggle a little bit in this tuning. But that said, being a 12-inch diameter, there's not that many musical situations where you would find you need to tune this drum that low. Cranked the tuning up and both drums sang beautifully, although this is where the Goblin really came into its own. It had a very pleasing high-end pop, but with tons of body and character. The Scorpion also sounded great at this tuning, but was somewhat overshadowed by its stablemate. Overall, and both drums are pretty well built with smooth bearing edges and perfectly round shells throughout. However, a couple of the tuning rods here and there did feel a little coarse. That said, both tuned relatively easily and both held their tuning really well no matter what tension we dialed in. We did feel that adding a touch of dampening would help to focus the overall sound, particularly on the Scorpion at a medium tuning, so we added a strip of gel to see what results we could achieve. In practical terms, we felt that the Scorpion would work well in a host of musical situations, although might lack a little bit of punch in a heavy or loud environment, whereas the Goblin really came into its own at a higher tuning, giving plenty of aggression and would work well in any kind of rock or funk setting. Price-wise, we feel that both are very competitively priced, especially when you consider the woods used in their construction and the overall build quality. And if you're in the market for a new snare drum, we'd highly recommend checking these out. We hope that you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. As always, please do drop your comments below and let us know what you think of these two drums. Subscribe and click on the bell icon to be notified of future content. Head on over to our website, drummersreview.com, and follow us on our social media channels to keep up to date with all of the latest news from the drumming world. And we'll see you here next time at Drummers Review.